Yo, Ron Murray, Mr. High School Holler. Glitz out, you did.
Raise your hand if you want to play college football. Okay. Raise your hand if you want to play Power 4 football. I'm going to re-ask that question in case some of you guys don't know what I mean when I say Power 4 football. That's going to schools like Texas and Texas A&M and Oregon and Ohio State, Penn State. Who wants to play at a school like that? Raise your hand. Okay, so there all the hands are again. Right? In order for you to play at schools like that, you have to be the elite. You have to be the elite. This thing is called pastoral school, right? Yes, sir. But for you guys to get to that level, you must be able to display that you play with your what? Hands. With your hands.
Ron Murray coming to you live from Richardson Berkner High School for Trench Warfare, episode 1 of my Trainer Spotlight series. To my right, you know him, Coach Tuck, Brandon Tucker. Coach, thank you so much for, allowing me out.
Appreciate you having me. I'm glad you came out to support me.
All right, so along with that, this is my Trainer Spotlight series. You're one of the guys that I've seen the work you've done, and you do right by the kids and by the parents. So just talk a little bit about yourself, your career to this point.
So, obviously played college football at a small school, had my shot to play at the next level, didn't work out. It's amazing how God has things work out for you, man. So I immediately went into training, went full-time in 2012 with the youth program. Been doing pre-draft training since 2011. And man, we've been blessed to have guys at the high school level go on and be 4- and 5-star All-Americans and have first-round draft picks at the NFL level. And just super blessed to be in this space. Holistic development, man, is what we really strive to do.
And it's like your resume is crazy. Shamar Turner, he's out here volunteering. Byron Murphy II, first round. Montez Sweat, Osa Odighizuwa for the Dallas Cowboys. The resume is there, and we're going to get to that. So, Coach, just talk about how the transition was from student athlete to training at that point in time.
Yeah, it was forced.
Okay, so you didn't make the decision necessarily.
Yeah, the decision was made for me, man. So it was forced, but it was a grind. It was a grind. It took a long time to build a program to where it's at now.
Right.
A lot of people see what we're doing now. This is the back end of it, of about 15 years of grinding, out on dirt fields and, just trying to really piece things together, find direction from a business standpoint and from a curriculum standpoint.
It wasn't always state-of-the-art facilities to begin with.
Oh, no. We were out in 120-degree weather, man, or on rainy, cold, drizzly days, man, just trying to have some type of consistency.
All right, so along with that, talk about, just what everything that encompasses trench warfare, because of course we know the edge rushing, but you have offensive linemen out here as well.
Right.
So just talk about the overall view of trench warfare.
Right, so our view and what we want to do is develop guys, like I said before, holistically. Football IQ, AQ, which is adversity quotient, how much adversity you can deal with. We want to make sure that guys have a complete skill set on both sides of the football. And that's why we have offensive linemen and defensive linemen in the program. The only way you're going to get better is to go against your counterparts.
Right. Hey, competition day is real,
Absolutely. And we do that, in a safe environment. And so you very rarely see videos of us because we don't want a guy, let's say, a Shamar Turner when he came through who was All-American. If we're working on something and he takes a L in training,
yeah, that's a good point.
Out there.
That's a good point.
So for us, our training environment is a safe place where you can be vulnerable, where you can ask questions, you can make mistakes. And so it's just something that we've done and developed over the 15 years we've been doing it, man, on both sides of the football. Both sides of football. So, and the back end, which we don't talk about a lot, is we really help our guys with the recruiting.
Right, yes.
So you have to have a 3.0 to train with us. And one of the reasons though we require them to do that is because outside the state of Texas, schools love Texas linemen.
Yes, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Love Texas linemen. So we have great relationships with the Ivy League schools that they'll take an undersized offensive lineman or undersized defensive lineman if he can demonstrate that he can handle the curriculum at a private school,
right,
or his skill set is high enough to where they don't have that in the Northeast or
That's true. That's
the
true.
Northwest. So it's something that we really
Yeah.
really stress academics, and we really help our guys with recruiting on the back end. The one thing we can control is our what? Our effort. Make sure tomorrow that you're giving 100% effort when you're taking your reps. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes, sir.
Make sure you're on time. Make sure you're resting. Right? We want to make sure that when we put our skill set on display tomorrow, it's something that people are going to talk about and be excited about. You can't do that if you stay up at 2 o'clock in the morning tonight. Everybody with me?
Yes, sir.
Treat this like it's a Thursday and it's a varsity football game on Friday for tomorrow. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So along with that, Coach, trench warfare is definitely a staple when it comes to training. So of course you do want to give everybody that opportunity, but do you sometimes have to flesh some of the players out, especially when that success types to come? And just talk about the selection process, because why I wanted to start this trainer series, you have some trainers, they take any and everyone, and they're not necessarily transparent. So just your process with that.
Yeah, so for us, they'll weed themselves out.
Understood. Okay.
They'll weed. I'll never tell a kid that he can't train with us or participate in our program. They do it to themselves. And it's going to be with either academics, having 3.0,
Yes.
or the dedication that it takes. So the program is designed to mirror what a college football program is going to look like. So when you go to college, it's a 7-day-a-week job.
Yes, that's a fact. You're an employee now.
Correct. And so our training programs year-round. So in season, you got to come see us on Sundays. So now what that looks like is you got practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, play a game on Friday. You go in Saturday, look at film, do some rehab, and then guess what? You're with us on Sunday. And so that mirrors what a collegiate program looks like. So we're actually getting guys acclimated while they're in high school to what it's going to be like when they go to college. But as far as weeding guys out, they'll do it to themselves, man.
Okay.
Either with the lack of dedication or commitment, or the lack of their academic diligence.
Okay, so speaking of academic diligence, and not saying you're the only one, but you're the first trainer that I've heard talk about the academic side.
Yep.
And this goes to my next question. Where do you think there's sometimes the tug of war, the push and pull between trainers and high school coaches? Because it's like we're at a high school, and I know you have a relationship with high school coaches, but not all trainers have that. So where do you think that, that I guess conflict in some ways happens with some?
Yeah, so as it relates to like having a relationship with high schools, that's something that it's taken me all this time to do.
The 15 years,
Yes.
plotting those seeds.
Yes, and high school coaches have to trust that you're supplementing what they're doing.
Right, correct.
Like there's more than one way to do things. And so if I have a relationship with the coaching staff at Richardson Berkner, we're at their beautiful facility here today.
Yeah.
Shout
out Coach Bryant.
Coach Bryant knows, okay, Tuck is going to make sure that our guys do this, and this. Right? If I have a group of guys that are at DeSoto, Coach Miller, Coach Mathis, they know that Tuck is going to have these guys ready to do this, and this. And it just took time to get to that point. I mean, this is something that we've been at since I started.
Right.
And I'm still developing relationships. And so we just try to be very, 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 very cognizant of what we're showing guys.
Yeah.
That we're supplementing and not teaching something different.
So is it going to be any Dwight Freeney spin moves on the first day, or not day one? Not day one. I'll just joke. So here's my other question. This is the final question, and to me, it's the most important question to me. What would you tell parents in regards to when they're looking for certain trainers, whether it be you or somebody else, the pros and cons? Because to me, I believe like just because you played in the NFL, that doesn't mean that you know how to coach a kid. Right. Just because you have 1 million social media followers, that doesn't mean that you know how to train. And there are some trainers who only train elite players, and it's the DNA. So just, what would you tell parents when they are looking for trainers and things of that nature?
That's a really good question. And there's so much I want to say as it
relates
to that.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of guys out here that are doing things strictly to put on social media platforms. I think as a parent, you should vet the trainer. You know, if they can't tell you what they've done and how they've done it, they need to be at least be able to show you that.
Right.
And sometimes guys that were elite football players, maybe they played in the NFL for 10 or 15 years, they have the skill set that made them successful. They might not be able to show your son with the skill set that he possesses how to be successful.
Can't beat DNA.
You cannot. And so, you know, ask the questions. Obviously, word of mouth is going to be the best thing. But man, you know, social media it's a tool. You can look on there and see what they've done. There has to be some instruction when you're looking at drills on social media. There has to be some teaching and instruction behind what they're doing. Right? Everything we do in this program, it transfers to the field of play.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it.
It transfers. We don't do anything that doesn't transfer. But I would just, use the resources that you have in front of you. I mean, social media, websites. I mean, and ask around. If somebody says, "Oh yeah, I've heard of him," it's a pretty good chance he's legitimate. But that is key, because who you train with is important.
Yes.
Who you train with is important. If you're training with someone that's known to not be able to really develop, or they're in it for themselves and not the success of their clients, you might be with the wrong person.
All right, I know I said that was the last question, but I do have one more last question now.
Yeah.
How important is the outside training? Because there are now, I would say, rare situations where one kid, he went D1, went to a Power 5 school, but he didn't do 7-on-7. He just did the stuff at the school and he was able to excel. But of course, that's not everybody's situation. How important is outside training from your thoughts?
Outside training is vital because of the transfer portal.
Great point. Okay.
You have to be plug and play. And so my position as a player development specialist, it's gotten more important because high school seniors don't have time anymore to develop at the university level. Coaches are trying to keep their job, and we saw this past year, 2 staffs got fired in 2 cycles. So normally a staff is going to be given
2 high school transfer transfer portal cycles.
No, 2 years.
Okay, in
so
2 years. Got you.
recruiting cycles.
Got you. Excuse me. 2 recruiting cycles.
So if a college coach comes in, he'll get opportunity to bring his first recruiting class all the way through to be a junior or senior.
Okay.
Well, Purdue and Tulsa, they were there with their guys for 2 years and they were fired.
Right. Correct. Yes.
The pressure to win, not now but right now, is on everyone's shoulders. Look at what Deion Sanders did at Colorado.
Yes. Great point.
And so because of the transfer portal, when a high school guy comes in, he has to be completely developed. His football IQ, how to play the position in run and in pass. If you don't, you're not going to make it. And so whether it's the DBs, receivers, quarterbacks, whatever it is, you got to be plug and play moving forward. And that means being able to contribute as a freshman.
I got more questions, but this isn't gonna be the last one though.
We could go, man. I'm good.
So, Coach Tuck, once again, thank you so much. Episode 1 of Ron Murray's Trainer Spotlight. Let everyone know where they can hit you up at.
So, and I'm horrible on social media. I'm gonna do my best. So, Twitter is @TWF Training. Instagram is _Guru. I'm an old school guy, man. You can reach out to me via email, which is TWF
Via
Training.
email. Shout out the email. Shout out the email.
Or you could just pick the phone up, man, and you could call me. 469-269-8780. Text me, call me. I'm going to always answer my phone. We just want to help as much as we can.
Coach Tuck, I appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you.
Ron Murray Trainer Spotlight, the biggest. Yes. Thank you.